Hey YouTube, welcome back to another one of these Q&A videos where I answer the questions that you ask me live. If you guys want to go ask me any questions to be on this show, all you have to do is read the description. It'll have a link to the Facebook fan page post where you can ask your questions. Different things you'll notice today is that I have Millie up here on my chair. She's all happy. And I also have my new microphone here. You can't really tell, it's a bit off camera, but I have this big crane arm holding it in and everything. I'm still messing around with the settings on it on the audio mixer that it goes through, the sound mixer. So it might sound different now than it sounds in other videos, entirely because I'm still learning how to use it properly and all of that stuff. However, since it's a nice good cardioid microphone, it kind of captures in a path in front of it, which means that I can be right here and it picks me up perfectly fine. I can also look at monitor too, as long as I wheel my body around a little bit, which is nice. Let's get on with the questions. Laura asks, ever got rejected? I'm guessing you mean like for a date kind of thing? I think I have once. I didn't really ask many people out. She also asks, do you love KFC fried chicken? No. Daniel asks, sorry, my eyes are adjusting. Have you ever heard of Kasixscope? He is a pretty avid Let's Player, and you remind me of him for your sense of humor. Anyways, new subscriber and a huge fan of all of your vids, not just the creepypasta. In parentheses, I want to be in that 3%. Winky face. Out of parentheses. Millie's trying to show me that she loves being on camera. That's totally what she's saying. Never heard of that person, and I'm happy that you're a fan of my stuff and that you watch more than just the creepypasta, so join the 3%ers, I guess. Isn't it the 1% is what they say in the States and you're supposed to hate them? I don't know. American things. I don't get it. I'm Canadian. Kimmo asks... Oh, hold on. Let me click to see the full question. Kimmo asks, this is a question about Pokemon. Mah-Dry-Bread, what is your opinion about the newly introduced Fairy type in Generation 6? The main reasons why I want to ask is because it's both weak to poison attacks and poison Pokemon resist Fairy type attacks. I have a friend called Secret Fairy. Also, I know poison types are your favorite. Fairy type is both weak to steel and poison and resistant to dark fighting bug, and are immune to dragon too. I know you're not interested in the newer generations, but poison has gotten more involved both defensively and offensively because of this type. I thought I'd tell you. Yeah, I already know about all the type stuff. Yeah, I'm not as interested in the newer generations, but I still do the research and everything for the show. What's my opinion? I'm happy that poison type has finally become less useless, because poison type is my favorite type, but it's never really been that good of a type. I am happy that there is a major type now that is good against, and fairy is not at all a bad type, so it's nice that it's good against a good type. I don't know. It's nice that it's good against something else now. Yeah, I don't really have a strong opinion. James asks, on what criteria do you critique the creepypasta on? Is it more based on the actual content or how it's written? Both. It's based on actual content or how it's written. It's a strange one. It's based on both. I guess it has more of a focus on how it's written, but like how much more is based on the actual content. I always do say that the more realistic you can make it, the more creepy it tends to be, but ultimately it's up to the writing. Jory asks, first he's messaging James saying he judges both. And now he says, my question for Mah-Dry, what is your favorite color? He actually said favorite color, but favorite color. Cobalt. I like cobalt. Nicholas asks, do you ever plan on continuing the Disciples 2 Gold Let's Play? Millie says no. No, I do... Give me a minute. I'm back. Disciples 2 Gold Let's Play. I want to continue it, but not as a Let's Play, because I found that phenomenally boring to do, and it's funny because a lot of people apparently really liked it. Just no one was commenting, but as soon as I stopped it, a bunch of people were really upset. I wish people would be more vocal about stuff like that. Like, I don't know if you guys like it or not unless you tell me. Do you ever plan on continuing the Disables 2 Gold Let's Play, though? I've thought about continuing it as a stream, actually. I'd like to continue it as a stream and beat the whole game that way. The only problem is that the game doesn't stream very well. I'm gonna have to find some workaround, because right now the only way I can get it to pick up on the streaming software, or at least on XSplit, which is what I tried back then, would be to... Oh, no. The problem was I could get it picked up by XSplit, full screened, but every time battle would start or the map would move, everything would flicker on the stream, and that looks horrible. And if I make it in a window and monitor capture it or window capture it, that problem isn't present. However, the scroll speed is horrendously fast and unusable, so it's a really hard game to stream. If I ever find a way to stream it properly without any of this weirdness going on, then yeah, I'll continue it as a Let's Stream. Kimo asks, again, most people I know say machinima is evil. It is. But rather than being one of those people who hops on the bandwagon, I'd like to know what makes them so awful so I can intelligently hate them. That's good. Can you explain to me why they're so bad? First of all, I want to give you kudos. I like people who actually question things rather than just accepting the accepted answer. You should question it and research it and see exactly why we believe what we believe. That's very important. Question everything, as Karl Marx said. But anyway, why is machinima evil? Well, first of all, back in the early days when there weren't really many partnering programs, everyone was going to machinima if they were into gaming, because it was really hard to get your gaming videos on YouTube for a long time. Then even after you could, it was super hard to get them monetized, because YouTube wouldn't touch that shit. Because it's not actually an illegal gray area, it's kind of just what the gaming companies want you to think. However, they'll still fight tooth and nail for it. They make it seem like it's this thing that's really hard to do. So back in then, YouTube didn't want anything to do with it, so it was super hard to monetize it. Machinima would monetize it for you, but they would take massive cuts. You would be stuck in them, in their network for a long time with no way to get out of your contract early. They'd be making a ton of money off you. Often they would put watermarks on your videos. They'd say like, oh, we'll give you some... What is it? We'll advertise your stuff, make a video, and you can put it on our channel as long as it follows these criteria. And you're like, okay, you make the video, you put it over on their channel, they put a watermark over it, you get almost no traffic back from it, because the people who subscribe to Machinima's actual YouTube channel, at least back then, were really callous assholes, which didn't help. I don't believe you got paid at all for any video you put on the actual Machinima channel. Now they have multiple channels, I think. Although I believe you still don't get paid for them. The whole thing was just a sinking ship for a long time. I don't know if they've done anything to salvage it, which I don't think they have. On top of them, they fucked over a lot of people who were with their network early on, because they technically own all of your content when you're with them. At least for a very long time. I don't know about currently, like within the last year, but for a very long time, like... You remember the Red versus Blue show, I think it was called? It was some Halo thing that got really big. I never really watched it. I was never into it. But they own that. They didn't create that, but they own that now. It's completely absurd. All these properties that they own. In fact, even when people leave them, often, if you leave them, you have to give up a large part of your show. Because they own it now. So it's this scary thing of, do you stick with them and not get paid nearly as much as you should, but you know you'll get views? Or do you leave and give up half your show and you give up everything you worked for and start anew and just hope that you can make it back? Machinima's terrible, and I highly doubt they've done anything to fix it. Anyway, next and last question we have from Joanne. Have you ever done Overdrill? What he, or she, I'm pretty sure he, is referring to is it was a hidden, really cool hidden secret in Payday the Heist, the first Payday game. It's this secret where you get a full team that are max level, and you have to play the first World Bank map, which is the first map, on Overkill difficulty. Overkill was the highest difficulty back then. Overkill in that game was a lot more difficult than Overkill is in Payday 2. In fact, I find Payday the Heist overall is more difficult than Payday 2. Overall, that is. There are still aspects of each that are easier or harder. And if you didn't break any cameras in the entire bank, and you got to where the vault would be, there would also be an extra door that you could drill into. Or rather, I think you could drill the wall there? Maybe the door would be there? I forget exactly. I never did Overdrill, but I can tell you what it is. You had to drill it for like an hour and a half or 2 hours while holding out against ruthless police assaults. Then after you finally have it open, you're in a room where you have to walk on a certain pattern on the floor, and the pattern is tipped off by a bunch of carpets in other levels, which give you the clues. Those carpets are also reused as textures in Payday 2. You often see them on the floors in Day 2 of Rats in the apartment buildings, as well as I think in some other stages, I forget. But you'll see the carpets with like highlighted things on the ground. That's how you know the way to walk through the room, because if you walk through the room incorrectly, then the door is locked, the room is filled with poison gas, you lose after the whole hour and a half or 2 hours of drilling. After you've done the ground correctly, you get into a vault, you get special masks, and I believe just an absurd amount of money, which in that game, money gives you reputation, which is experience. There was no actual payment system. It was simply experience points, which they called reputation, which you got through beating stages, beating challenges, and picking up wads of cash. So, as I answered during that, I've never done Overdrill. I know what Overdrill is and how to do Overdrill, and I've seen Overdrill done. I have never done Overdrill because I am not max level in Payday the Heist. I think I'm like near halfway. Maybe a little bit over half level? I forget. It's been a while since I played Payday the Heist. Last time I played it was just that very short session with Brandon on Payday 2 A Journey. But that's the last question for now, so again, if you'd like to ask any questions for me to answer live on the show like this, well, answering it live, but it's not broadcasting live, you know what I mean? If you want me to, if you want to ask your questions for me to answer in front of the camera like this, check out the description. You'll find the link to the Facebook fan page and the post where you can comment and let me know what your question is. Thank you everybody for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.